My parents told me phones and tech emit dangerous radiation. Is it true? No. All electronics emit radiation in the form of electromagnetic waves, but it's not dangerous unless it's **ionizing** radiation. Ionizing radiation is capable of damaging cells and can cause cancer, but for radiation to be ionizing, it has to be a much higher frequency than what electronics emit. It just comes down to ionizing versus non-ionizing radiation. There are no RF frequencies being produced in consumer electronics that have ionizing radiation. You start getting ionizing radiation with X-rays and higher frequency technologies. Yes, they do. It is a similar type of radiation emitted by the sun, light bulbs, and certain types of deep-sea fish. Concentrated doses in the fur of beams can easily cause severe burns. It is even used to shape diamonds, one of the hardest materials known to man. Most people call that type of radiation light. Thanks for this. I've been considering Bluetooth headband to listen to music while I sleep, but feared 8 hours of low Wi-Fi level for such a long period. Do you think length of exposure on a concentrated spot, my dome, makes a difference, even at low wattage? To put it simply, no. We have no long-term studies of their effects, so we have no proof, but there is no reason they would, and there is also no proof the universe didn't come into existence last Thursday with memories of what seems like the past. I always understood this to be a carryover from the days of the old cathode ray tube TVs, which did emit small, mostly harmless, amounts of X-rays, but you were told not to get too close to them to reduce exposure. Like many other pieces of good advice, it didn't age well with advanced in technology, and is now an old wives' tale. As others have said, the radiation is so weak, but if you are still worried, the closer you are to the masts, the safer you are. This is because the receiver in mobile devices doesn't have to use lots of power to try to pick up the signal. There was a recent study on mice about if radiation produced from smartphones can cause cancer. The result was yes, phone radiation does cause cancer, but the conditions of the experiment was overkill. 9 hours of exposure per day with the phone next to the mice head the whole time. Yes, they emit radiation. Depending on which study you read, most bought and paid for by the same companies making the stuff that pump radiation into the surroundings, the results are anywhere from, this stuff will cause cancer in your brain in a few years, to, there's no problem whatsoever with radiation coming from a device and streaming through your body. Yes. It's true. They recalled photons, usually in the visible light spectrum. It appears that when emitted in particular sequences, and with certain regularity, they transform promising young people into unemployable slobs. Anything with a light emits radiant energy. Anything with a screen emits dangerous radiation. An oscillating fan creates dangerous buffeted air that can cause genetic mutations, and nodding your head kills brain cells. The key to living a happy life is knowing when to pick your battles. I am not convinced that cell phone radiation is a hill I am willing to die on.